Hello, this is my second blog, so hi from Taiwan. Uh, I figured I'd try to make this one a bit more structured than the last one. No, you can probably tell I'm a bit sick at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate. But I figured I'd just do a bit of a story on what happened over the weekend, which is about Monday right now. And I'm not feeling the best, but I did have some fun over the weekend. And I think I'll start on Saturday. Uh, oh yeah, I should probably show you where I am. Uh, right now I'm on the rooftop of like where I'm staying, so it's a pretty decent view though. There's not many places to sit up here, so I'm just on like a windowsill right now. But anyway, getting into the actual story itself. Basically started on let's say Friday, where I kind of had a list of things I wanted to do in Taiwan, and usually every weekend I'll go through. And it's not really like a process. I kind of just randomly like click one, and I'll be like, okay, I'll do that. and and sometime over the weekend I'll go to that place or do that thing or whatever. Uh, so Saturday I basically go out for lunch. Usually when I go out for lunch, it's more of like I just kind of go on a walk and see where I end up, and usually there's a restaurant there. But on this case, I sort of ended up around the Taipei main station, which is where like most of the trains that go out of Taipei. Uh, I think well, probably almost all of them. I don't know. I don't know the exact metro layout, but basically expect most of the trains that go from that sort of place, like Union Station, kind of. And I'm around there, and I figured, well, I wanted to go out of Taipei anyway at one point, so I basically go inside, I take a look around, kind of find out where the lines are, and then next day I'm like, okay. Well, I figured the next day I'd probably come back and find something I want to do that was sort of out of town. Um, I was, excuse me. So anyway, I was going through the list. Uh, basically, it was like I remember hearing about like a cat village. This wasn't like a thing I had written down exactly. It's kind of like a faint memory I had of scenes like on like I don't know if it was like a blog post or page or something. I just remember seeing it somewhere, and someone like talking about it. I'm like, oh, that seems cool. I like cats. I like cute things like that. And it looked like a pretty nice place. So I figured I just looked on the map where it was. It was like an hour away by train, like about that. So I'm like, okay, I'll go there. Uh, well, it didn't go off to the best start because the night before, like on around Saturday, because I leave Sunday. On Saturday, I was kind of playing in it. Uh, I kind of forgot to charge my phone. I didn't really realize it first, so I kind of like leave Sunday morning. I go out to breakfast and everything, go on a bit of a walk. I'm not really like looking at my phone. Well, I'm looking at my phone, but not like the battery charge on it. It's kind of like a ticking time bomb that I'm not realizing about at the moment. So anyway, I get to Taipei Mid Station. At this point, it's kind of like I'm all in, and I don't really, that's when I notice it. Decide that like I think I'm gonna hope I know the metro enough and make it back myself. At this point, I've used the metro quite a bit, so I go in about an hour train ride. I didn't know what I was expecting. I didn't think it would be. I don't know if it was like a metro or like a fancy bullet train. I don't know, but it was pretty much like going on the metro in DC, except it's like just an hour ride. It didn't feel like all that different. Except the Taipei main station itself is like a really big place. That was probably the most confusing part because I just had to ask people where where I was going. I got a ticket, and I'm like, oh shoot, I actually got a ticket to a different city, like one city away or something. So I go back. I'm like, oh, I explained it, and then I get a new ticket, and then I go. I don't really know where I'm going. I just saw it said like 4, and I'm not looking everywhere. I'm not seeing the sign. So I asked somebody, and like, oh, that's like 2. You have to go down 2 floors. I'm like, oh, I don't know how many floors there are in this, but I'll go down 2. So I go down 2. I end up finding my way there. But I think I don't remember the exact times leaving my mind for some reason. But basically, when I got there, it was like 10 minutes before a train was about to leave. And then because of all the trouble I had like finding it, like when I got the ticket, I had like 10 minutes to like go to the train, and for all that like time, I couldn't find it. And then when I finally get there, I'm basically watching the train leave. So I go, oh shoot, well how long? I gotta wait. So I end up waiting 40 minutes, and I didn't like bring a book or anything. I just had my phone, and my charger wasn't even going to charge my phone, which was a bit of a bummer because I was sitting there, I think, at like 40% battery at that point. I'm like, okay, I don't want to sit here like fiddling my thumbs. So I walk around for a bit, but I'm on my phone a bit. I think that by the time I'm done, the phone's like 25 or 23%. Anyway, I got on train. Again, same thing with train. I can't really like walk around and see anything, so I'm pretty much just sitting there being bored the whole time. Well, anyway, I finally arrive, and my phone, like I think like 20, 20 or 15. I'm getting a bit worried. I'm like, okay, I don't know how long it's gonna last because I need to use it to find some places later anyway, and I need to know how to get back. Uh, but I start walking around, and because one thing I didn't, because there were like two sides when you get off the train. I head toward one at first. I didn't really know. I didn't do much research beforehand. I was kind of like, oh, cat village. There's got to be cats. It looks nice. It did look nice. The location was like real super scenic. I don't know if I can like. I don't remember like put a picture in this or not. But if I can do pictures, I'll put it with the post. If not, there's magic really pretty. There's like a really like pretty kind of like picturesque scenery with like a bunch of like sort of forest and a mountain village. But it was really pretty. But anyway, I come off the train and I'm going to like sort of like a marketplace area. I this was part I'll have to admit I was a bit disappointed because I didn't really know because I said I didn't do much research, which was part of the problem as to why I ended up at this section because this was basically all like a bunch of shops selling cat merchandise essentially. Like you get cat themed this or cat themed that. Uh, and I did get one thing. There's a little like ceramic like cat figure just to say like, hey, I came here. And it was fun. But it was a surprising lack of catch in the area. I only saw like two to cats. Obviously, besides all the like cat like plushies and other things like that, there was probably millions of those. Natural cats like only two. Uh, so I'm like, okay, there's no cats here. So I'm a bit disappointed. So I end up heading to a different thing on that side of town, which is like I didn't know what was there at all, but it was like a coal mine. Apparently, it was, I'm trying to remember exactly what the thing said, but basically, it was a coal mine in this town that had really harsh conditions, and it was a museum all about it. It was pretty interesting to learn about the mine's history, and they had like a really cool sort of model setup of the mine of how everything worked, and it was a pretty like fun. But I do have to say at this point I was like, okay, I've been here for a while. I've only seen like two cats or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I want to see more. So I go back to the train station because there was a map there, and I didn't want to use my phone because I was worried if I use it I'd run out of battery. So I go back to the train station. I'm looking at the map, and I'm like, okay, I have to cross a bridge and go up a bunch of stairs, and then I get to a different side of the village. And I ended up on the right track here. That was the right decision. I basically follow the instructions. I end up in the actual village itself, and then Fed and I start to realize, oh, like all the cats were here because there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them everywhere. Everyone's petting them. Everyone's having a good time. You just walk up, you can give them like snack and stuff, and it was fun. Especially I like this kind of stuff, and I know some people don't. But there's also a lot of like, basically a lot of it. This part of the town was just a bunch of like cafes with like cat themed food. Uh, Basically, imagine like all the drinks, maybe like they'll have like a little like cat paw made out of like the cream and sort of things like that, or like chocolate cake with a little paw and stuff. And I figured, oh, while I'm here, I'll try something. And I had a good time. I pet the cats. I tried out a few cafes. None of them were like stellar or anything, but it's kind of like okay. I thought the food like looked cute and stuff. It wasn't that bad. So I spent sort of the day around that area looking at cats, taking sort of pictures around. Well, I didn't take that many pictures, I guess, but I enjoyed it with my own two eyes and not taking pictures with my phone. But it was a fun time. So I come back because I didn't know what time like the train stopped running, which was kind of. And I was like, okay, I don't want to check that on my phone. It was all bad. So basically, I'm all right. I'll just go to the train station and I'll ask some of the staff there, and I can join because I saw a ticket ordering station. So I figured, okay, I'll just tell them I want to go to Taipei, and that should be a pretty done deal. I don't think that should be that hard. And yeah, just ask him, you know, where's Taipei? Not where's Taipei. I tell him I want to go to Taipei, and then like, okay, here's a ticket, and you just wait there. So wait about 20 minutes, and lo and behold, I get on the train. Come back, everything's dandy. The only problem is another hour-long train ride. I was pretty bored, so I just used my phone. I was pretty confident I could navigate the Taipei metro system because I've been using it a fair bit, especially now. I'm sorry. So anyway, this is around I think it was around 5 that I got back. Oh no, it was 5. I got back to Taipei, and then using the metro to get back to my sort of dormitory where I'm staying at sort of my program took about another hour. But the metro, I didn't have that much of an issue. I got off the metro. I'm like, okay, I remember to stop. I just looked at the maps in the metro. I didn't have any problem. So that was sort of a little story about what I did over the weekend. And yeah, thank you for listening. This is Cole signing off from Taiwan.